There it is.
What?
Welcome to Pillow Talk.
Oh. Okay.
Because cold opens are my fun thing.
That's terrible.
So, Rob's got his Afterburn subcast, I guess, and mine and Aries is going to be Pillow Talk. Welcome to episode 1. That's Airie, my fiance. She hasn't said anything yet, and it's super weird.
I guess today we're talking about...
Easy. Let's not pressure anything. I do not consent.
like this relationship.
Oof. You want to talk about how we got started? Rob wanted to know. Rob wanted us to tell everybody.
I like our love story. I mean, I was swimming in the ocean off of the coast of...
She was doing an American free, not a butterfly or anything fucking weird.
Yeah, it was really graceful. I looked vaguely
Majestic.
like a mermaid.
You know, like her namesake, because that's what she's going for.
Yeah, and then a shark came out of nowhere. And then... and the sharks in that area
And
sounded
other
like
flipper
dolphins.
noises. Yeah, other flipper noises.
And I was like, someone help. And here
We
was
met in
Alex.
boot camp.
Wow. There were sharks in the water.
100%.
Yeah. What was
Sharks in the water.
it? 2009?
Boot camp 2009.
We enlisted...
December 2009.
Yeah, we spent the new year together, ringing
Jesus,
in 2010.
We've known each other for a decade. That's weird.
Well, we've known of each other for a decade. The actual, our first impression of each other was...
She was a bitch.
I am.
I was also that guy in boot camp.
Oh my god, he was the only reason I was a bitch to Alex was because he was the biggest loudmouth, and he constantly had something to say, and he had this obnoxious looking butt on his face.
That's why I wear a beard.
He wears a beard to cover this ginormous ass chin that he's got going on.
It's crazier than Jay Leno's.
Yeah,
I swear to God.
it really is. All the girls in the flight were like, the loudmouth butt chin guy wouldn't shut up, and we all were looking for a pee break after that 8-hour PowerPoint session.
Didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I cared.
You say something stupid, I'm gonna call you on your stupid. It wasn't her saying anything stupid, to be clear.
I
she's
didn't say
actually
anything stupid except shut up.
Once she got irritated, and that's not stupid. That was fair.
I was irritated all the time.
Her friend, however, was fucking retarded.
We were all retarded back then.
Yeah.
2009.
Little did we know. Little did we know Square would disappoint us with this Final Fantasy VII remake.
I came here for a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, she did. She just walked away for those playing the audio game. She's pissed as shit. I've been teasing her about this all day. I don't think it looks good. Or it looks good. I'm still afraid Square is going to fuck it up. I don't care what we've seen. It's all demo footage. It's doctored and pre-rendered and shit. We don't know what we're going to get. This could be Fallout 76. This could be No Man's Sky. Look at Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm just saying.
Kingdom Hearts 3
Is not good.
is fun to play. And
It doesn't make it good.
If you take it for what it is, it's a fun game. It was missing a lot, though, and I realized it was missing the entire cast of any Final Fantasy game ever.
Such as the best Final Fantasy protagonist in the series.
If you say Squall...
He's the coolest protagonist. I'm not going to say 8 is the best game. It's not.
Whatever.
That belongs to Tactics.
He wears furs, leather, and put a gun on his sword.
Gun blades and bomber jackets.
I'm sorry,
are
the only
awesome.
Final Fantasy
How
character...
dare you?
The only Final Fantasy character that can wear an excessive amount of belts is Lulu, okay?
Indeed.
And
Blah,
furs.
blah, blah.
That's the only Final Fantasy character I want to see in leather and furs.
Bomber jackets are bomb. So deal with that. In any event...
Cloud didn't know who he was, and he had more of a personality than Squall.
10 out of 10 disagree. Nobody understands me is a personality. And Squall had that in spades.
Squall wasn't kept in a lab for X amount of years.
No, he was being force-fed into a military institution against his will.
Let's talk about Cloud's military service.
I didn't accuse Square of having good writing since 6.
Square does have good writing. The World of Spirit is...
No, it doesn't.
Square does have good writing. It's Squeenix I'm worried about.
And Squeenix is responsible for this. And even still, like, Square... Admittedly, Square's writing was going down from...
I feel like you trapped
6.
me. You told me that you were going to talk about how we met and not my
I'd immediately dive into this.
incredibly sensitive feelings on the topic of Final Fantasy, and here we are. Okay.
We said we were going to do both before this, for the record.
Besides,
I'm not forcing anything on her.
if we're talking
now.
about main protagonists of, or not main protagonists, but characters of Final Fantasy, like, all of the best characters are from 7. I'm sorry.
Even Barrett was badass.
Reeve,
And he didn't
Yuffie,
continue.
Tifa.
Tifa's pretty cool.
I hated Tifa at first. I always thought it was kind of weird how, like, she knew what was going on, and Cloud was talking about his past, and what was she doing the whole time? Just, like, sitting there, like...
Yeah, whatever you say.
Like, wow,
That's not what happened.
That dweeby blonde-haired kid that I used to pick on when he was younger grew up to be hot, so I'm just gonna shut up and enjoy the view. Like, what was up with that? Aerith
That's
deserved her shot.
how he reacted to her. So, oh, that bitch that used to pick on me is here. I don't remember anything about her, but damn, she's hot.
I don't know.
She's still a bitch to me. What the fuck? Oh well.
No, that's not right. That's not how the game was. It's been 10 years
That's
since
how it
my
opened.
last playthrough.
That's how it
but
opened.
Wait, she wasn't a bitch to him at all. She was all over him. She was all over him.
She was all over Barrett.
That's not true, even though I ship it.
Now, mate.
I ship it so hard. Do you always lean out of view when you're vaping?
Recently, I've actually been clicking mute on my mic audio
Oh, okay.
for drags, but that's not feasible when there's only one mic for 2 people.
Mm.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I want to keep my bad habit to myself.
But yeah, that's how we met, and Alex is still loudmouth and wrong with his opinions.
She contradicts herself in the same sentence, 2 words away. Wrong opinion.
Wrong opinion.
You're done.
That exists. It's possible to have the wrong opinion.
Yeah, if your opinion that a tomato is a bridge.
It could be. Sorry. Okay.
Like I said.
So, Alex, we joined the military. We met in basic. We hated each other. We both got stationed to New Mexico. I was stationed in Albuquerque at Kirtland, and you were stationed in Holloman down in Alamogordo.
Yeah, the place that Marvel jokes about sending Steve.
Poor Steve.
And where Banner became Banner.
So we didn't speak to each other. I think Alex added me on Facebook after graduation.
It was when the photos went up from the obstacle course day.
Mm-hmm.
The photos went up, and I just like mass added everybody.
He added me because I'm cute.
Look.
Really not cute at all.
Gorgeous. Shut up.
No, but he added me. I saw him on my timeline. You know, we have a lot of the same interests.
That's not creepy.
Yeah, well, you see people on your timeline. I was
Yeah,
like,
as you're scrolling through.
oh, he's cool. You know, he likes video games and stuff. We have the same interests. We kind of like went our separate ways. Really, after that, like I was married, had a kid.
My kid now. Can I say that? Like,
Yeah,
is that not rude? I feel like that's rude and weird.
We'll get there. So, what was it, like 5 years later? I got out of the military early.
Yeah,
Alex
you volcepped
stayed.
because of your pregnancy.
Yeah. Alex was still enlisted for a while. I moved up to Santa Fe, living it up with my DD-214.
Yeah, I stayed on for another 3 years past her because I signed a 6. They cut half my fucking credits illegally to push me to E2 instead of E3 for the college credits thing, and they were like, oh, but if you sign a 6-year contract, you get E3 that way. Shut the fuck up.
Not worth it.
I didn't finish it. The third set of orders for me that was declined out of Holloman, I was like, here's my Volset package. I'm done. I'd like to go home now, please.
So he went back to Baltimore and lived here for 2 years.
Yeah.
I ended up getting divorced, moved back in with my parents, and went on a couple of dates and just decided it just wasn't working. I wasn't comfortable dating with a kid, you know, like it happened to be like this guy had asked, like, let's hang out, me, you, and your kid, and I was like,
Oof. Yeah, the lead in with the, hey, let me be your baby daddy.
No, it wasn't.
Like,
he wasn't pressuring me to be like, I want to be a dad to your kid or anything. But I realized like I wasn't comfortable with him, or with anybody really meeting Marco. It was really bizarre. Then Alex mentioned over Facebook, hey, there's a Baltimore Comic Con this summer. You should come up and.
So naturally, she invites me down for Memorial Day.
Yeah, well, it was Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And I was like, you should come down. And he said, sure, I'll see what I can do. And then he blew me off.
There was a legitimate issue
That's
with
when I knew
my
I wanted
brother.
to marry him. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but there was some weird, stupid scheduling conflict, and I couldn't come down. And like, she didn't like that, so she came up the next weekend.
Well,
Basically, like, we ended up talking more that week, and we ended up like, wait, are we both into this? On Wednesday night.
It was.
He asked 2 o'clock in the morning.
He asked me to come up for Baltimore Comic Con, which was like a while later, and I said,
No.
It was a while from. It was like 2 months from then.
I asked here. We get through the Memorial Day invite. We've had other conversations, and then she leads in that Wednesday night with like, "Hey, so is your couch available?"
No. Okay. No. So the last conversation, he's making it sound like I was thirsty.
You led with, "Is your couch available?" And I went straight to, "Oh my fucking god, are you okay?"
No, I was not parched. Okay, I was well hydrated.
Don't believe that shit.
No. He, shut up. No.
Dry as the Sahara. Thirsty.
The last conversation we had was about the Baltimore Comic Con, and
that is not the case.
I texted him and said, hey, would your couch be available? And he said,
at minimum, this was days later and with zero context.
It was, but we were in that weird stage where like texting him was bizarre, and I didn't want him to think that I was a dweeb, and I was still trying to play like coy and aloof.
You still try to play coy.
Yeah, we're gonna be together now like 3 years in June,
and she still wants to play coy. I'm like, just fucking be honest about your goddamn intention. This is stupid.
Why not make you guess? Like,
why make me guess? That's my question.
'Cause then it's not fun for me, duh.
Dance, puppet, dance. That's how you sound.
Where's the problem?
And she says she wasn't thirsty.
I wasn't. I texted him and asked if his couch would be available, meaning if I came up for Baltimore Comic Con,
like,
can I sit on your couch?
Yeah.
Or
like,
should I, use my Hilton discount and rent a hotel room?
But she led with like, hey, is your couch open? I was like, whoa, is everything okay? And she was like, whoa, what the fuck? And that was hilarious.
And he said, yeah, you can stay on my couch while we go to the Comic-Con. That'd be super cool. And
that I wanted to be super respectful of the women's.
no.
So I was like, you can crash in my bed. I'll sleep on the couch.
And I was
So
like,
you don't think I'm too forward or
first
anything.
of all, that's super weird. Like, this
Because
was
I
all,
respected
like,
all the women's.
That's super weird for a guy to say, like, sleep in my bed and I'll sleep on the couch. Like, I don't want to sleep in your crusty ass sheets. Like,
I'm trying to be gay and chivalrous. Fuck off. Like.
But I was like, oh, I can't remember. It was like, wouldn't there be weird expectations?
Hi, viewer. And so naturally it was like, and you were like, there would definitely be expectations. And I was like, oh.
this conversation occurred at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I
had been dragging on
tired.
for hours at this point. It started at like
so
midnight.
Sleepy. And I was like, I guess I was a little flirty. So I was
A
like,
little?
I was like, well, maybe I want those expectations or something.
I was like,
it was really fun.
The viewer left when I said hi. Naturally.
Good for them. Good for them.
So, yeah, I mean, she ended up coming up that weekend, and then
Cloud Strife is the best protagonist of any Final Fantasy game ever. And that's it.
9.
I'm gonna need that ring back.
You're gonna have to take it. Let's do this. Conor McGregor your ass. I don't give a fuck.
Manny Pacquiao your ass.
Ray Rice.
I don't know. It was a really bizarre love story. Like.
Yeah. So she comes up twice, and then I go down, and it's Marco's birthday weekend.
And it's the
he was
first
turning
time,
5.
First
and
time Alex has met him.
Has met anybody but Airie that was gonna be present.
Yeah. And
that was
like,
a lot
hey,
to take in.
My parents are here. My son is here. My ex-husband is here, and my ex-husband's mom is here.
That was fun.
I don't know. Like with Alex, I knew I wanted to be serious with him, like right away. Like I felt like if I didn't take this chance to make this
part
happen.
of that was like your mom was hitting you, and I was like, hey, maybe don't do that.
No,
and you were like, nobody's ever defended me before. Oh my god! You really did.
Okay, stop. No, I knew I was really into Alex like right away. It was
my charming personality.
It is. It's very charming.
I'm alright. I think. I hope. Shit.
You really are though. Like I am so in love with you.
I love you too.
It was. I don't know. My relationship with you is like having a best friend that you can talk to about anything. Like every interest that I have happens to, well, we have our separate interests. Like I love to knit and crochet, and Alex likes to code and make games and stuff. And
What's the best protagonist?
Whatever. We do have differences of opinion, obviously.
That was actually the point I was making. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. But we have the same interests, and
yeah. She converted me from a PC to Switch.
I am such a Nintendo freak. It's really awful. Like Zelda, Pokemon, Mario, anything. It's really terrible. And he's like PC Master Race for life, and
Wu-Tang.
Now he's all about the Switch, and I'm so happy for him. Like he's finally.
It's what gaming's supposed to be.
I've also taught him how to crochet.
A little bit. I'm gonna need a refresher.
I think he's gotten like 2 rows done on his scarf, which is cute.
Yeah, I need to undo that too because they're trash.
He's teaching me how to play Go and Rocket League. I'm trash at that, so.
She's coming for you in hoops, son. She's gonna break your axles on the court. And she's gonna foul your ass first. Fuck. Just, fuck you.
I just jump around the map like, whoa. But no, we have like every geeky thing, because we both like geeky stuff, and it's just really cool to have someone like the inside jokes I had with my friends when I was 15 or 9, like he got he knew what I was talking about when some stupid thing came out, and he would like say it back to me or finish the meme, you know. And I was like, oh
because
my
I
god.
kicked her in the face with my energy legs.
I don't know.
Boom,
It's just...
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, the other day we were grooving out to that, which was really cool.
That was a fucking riot.
Ladies, if you can find yourself a man that'll sit down after a long day with you and watch a JonTron video, that's your guy. that's the secret to true love right there. And I just gotta say it on camera one time at least. Like,
I'm concerned now.
He is a phenomenal stepdad. Just like, just
I wasn't ready for that.
He's amazing. He's like I was very concerned at first because Marco and Alex kind of got thrown together right away, and they butted heads so hard at first. But like, Alex,
get away from my mommy.
Alex has taken like such a shine to being a dad. Like
2 weeks later, it was, I love you, new daddy.
It's not true.
You're right, it was a month.
I feel like we should discuss like your relationship with my ex-husband, and like it's good and healthy. Like, I think the three of us have a strong
weird.
We have a strong understanding of
boundaries.
You know, it's a team effort, you know.
Because we don't have an understanding of boundaries.
My ex-husband's a trucker, so he comes into town very last minute.
Doesn't tell fucking anybody shit leading up to it.
Well,
like,
the whole
he'll
thing
tell
is
us,
like,
oh, hey, I'm an hour out.
No, he'll be like, I might come into town. And sometimes he doesn't come into town, and sometimes he does.
Is that why you don't relay it? Because it sounds like you're getting the information, and I've never gotten the information.
No, I told you. I think last time he told me he might be in town on a Tuesday, and on a Tuesday he said he was coming in town. He should be there by Saturday or Sunday, and then Friday. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sleepy. On Friday he said he was here.
Oh, damn you for yawning.
But no, you guys work together really well. And it's all in like the best interests of the most important person in our family, which is Marco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're all here for.
I think my favorite moment when Pablo, who is my ex-husband, visited was when we went to the grocery store together, and the two of you were showing Marco different scents of deodorant and like letting him sniff them, and like it was just it's really cool to see that kind of like teamwork together come out of you guys. Like, put away any like frustrations or differences you guys have and came together for him, and it's really cool.
I got the princess. And he disagrees, so that's the best part.
I know, like Pablo's like, yeah, you can handle that.
Not for me.
No, it's great. Like, I had a conversation with Pablo recently, and he was like, yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
We worked way better as friends, Pablo and I did, and it's really neat that he's flowered without me, and I've really flowered without him.
I think that's really neat, especially.
Yeah, Alex is reaping those rewards.
Because any of the alternatives there are just bad jokes that don't need to be written.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I found the line. That's what I'm here for.
Couch is on fire.
I found the line.
Oh yeah, check this out. Birthday gift that Marco and Alex picked out for me, because we're a nerdy family, and it's my favorite genius, Bulma.
It's because she's awesome.
One of my favorite fictional moms ever.
She shot Goku in the head.
He was freakishly strong.
I mean, yeah, he was 5 and took the bullet. Sure.
I don't think she knew that he was capable of doing that, and I think he was 10. Thank you. Don't shoot 10.
Yeah, you're right.
5 versus 10. Don't shoot them.
Or do.
No, don't. This has been.
Why would I joke about that? School shootings.
This is Wow, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'd rather talk about Final Fantasy again.
Bane, go lay down. We can't close the door, or they'll whine at the door because we're both in here, so naturally they're assaulting us.
I'm usually tending to the dogs while he records.
You need to stop now, Bane.
We
they're
have
good
two
boys, though.
dogs. Dublin is Alex's baby.
That's my puppers.
Bane is our other big, huge baby.
Her puppers.
He's mine for sure. My brother adopted him out in Vegas and couldn't take care of him. He just couldn't be there to he couldn't be there to train and take care of a dog. He was too busy. And I immediately told Alex, like, we gotta get this guy. We gotta get this dog. And I actually went online and discovered a service that will they'll pick up the dog at a location. It's kind of like Uber delivers animals. And they picked up this dog and traveled across the country from Vegas to Baltimore and dropped him off at our doorstep at like 10 o'clock at night. And it was the worst night of our lives. This dog he was
that
only
was
like
hellaciously awful.
He was a baby. He was still a puppy. He was maybe like 6 months old.
He was a monster.
He was
Didn't have it was
wow.
zero training. Had no idea what a bed was like at the fundamental level.
We had to sleep with him in the room because he would bark if we put him in the kennel.
And just yelp.
Yeah. And
Yelp.
keeping him in the bedroom, he was just so high energy, super excited to be in his new home. He just jumped everywhere the whole time.
10 o'clock is
Wild.
not an ideal time to have a dog delivered to your home.
A puppy. And
A new puppy.
our Dublin, our older dog, he's 6, 5.
November of 2013. So he's coming up on 6. He is 5 now.
Bane is only a year and a half, almost 2.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't remember
I
either.
don't know. But he's our younger boy. And Dublin, poor Dublin.
Dublin went from being like the only child with just dad to then Michael moved in and moved out. When she moved in with Marco.
I just want to say really quick, Dublin was a huge factor in staying with Alex, because Alex, like, a man who is good with your kids, loves and respects you, supports your goals and your dreams, and loves dogs, that's your guy. He loves dogs, and Dublin was like, he is the sweetest boy, and he still is. He really is. I love him.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah.
So he went from like me to me and Michael to me, Airie, Marco to all that plus Bane. He gets grumpy.
Yeah, you can tell he's just like, I feel like I identify with Dublin more. Like, I'm really like aloof. I'm super aloof, and like I don't want to be
all
disturbed.
The time.
Yeah.
All the time.
And
put the phone down.
And Bane is the pay attention to me 24/7. Not 24/7. He chills out at night.
After we
much
give
like
him some
you.
attention.
Mhm. He's such a lapdog. Dublin is really aloof and far away, but Bane will just.
Well,
he's gotta
Dublin
be,
likes to be a lapdog. He just doesn't get the opportunity.
That is true.
Because Bane will box him out.
Yeah. Bane has to, like the other day I was like in your lap and Bane literally just
had to
pawed
insert
his
himself.
way. He's like, what's going on here?
He's going to start going kennel for that, by the way. You're not going to stop me. Like, that, I don't stand for that. That's inexcusably bad behavior.
I'm always good cop for Bane, I swear to God. That might explain why he is the way he is.
Because by good cop, she means no discipline. None.
I love them.
I love them too.
I know. It's just you love them in a good and healthy way.
Yeah. A good and healthy way that includes boundaries.
Yeah.
Like not inserting yourself into every single other activity that's going on that involves any movement or interaction between other two people.
Okay. Yeah.
I love him. He's a good boy.
Good talk.
Yeah. I hate that fucking stick though. Jesus Christ.
Oh God, yeah.
So he's got this green like pseudo. It looks like a tree branch. It's about 3 or 4 inches in diameter, but it's green and it's foamy, so you can chew on it. And he'll just push it into your face. Push it into your face. I'm sure that's really loud. Sorry, audio people. Push it into your face, and it's like just it doesn't stop ever. Unless he's laying on top of you, he is pushing that stick into your face.
Yeah, he just wants you to throw it.
And play.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Like
High
that's a good
energy.
desire to have. And I appreciate like the wanting to play all the time, but like there are times when it's not appropriate, dude. Like just take no for an answer sometimes.
Let's go back to Final Fantasy. Like, why are you mad?
I'm not actually.
I don't know. I've always wanted them to do a remake of 7. Like, for me,
Okay, we're jumping tracks.
my favorite Final Fantasy was Tactics. I loved
10 out of 10, best fantasy.
I love the Tactics Advance games that were on the DS and the Game Boy Advance.
She keeps telling me to play them, but caveats, don't just ignore the narrative.
Yeah, no, the narrative for the Tactics games on their handheld consoles were like really heavy battle system, really like the tile, the classic Tactics Final Fantasy. It was perfect. It was so much fun battling, leveling, changing classes, upgrading your clan. You know, it was really cool. It was perfect. But boy, was that like even the lore and the world, Ivalice. It's really amazing. It's top tier. It really is.
But the story of those games specifically?
It's just a boy finds a book in the library right before summer vacation and gets transported into the world of Final Fantasy and has to find his way back, and you're just doing quests for your clan and stuff, and it's a great game if you can just kind of overlook the story, and that's all. But like going hand in hand with that, Final Fantasy 12 was one of my favorite Final Fantasies too. 6, obviously, because it's just one of the best. Like, you can't talk about great Final Fantasy games without talking about 6. 7, because I really like that dark, distant... Dystopian, yeah. That was really cool. I mean, the opening is you bombing something. That was really neat for me.
You're an eco-terrorist,
yeah. And it's like... The cast was just so good to me. I really liked it. 8, I hated 8. That's Alex's favorite. I cannot stand 8.
I like the game. I hate the draw
8.
system.
I
it's
hate the
awful.
Characters. I didn't identify with any of them.
Junctioning sucks.
Yeah.
It's
the
stupid
card
and
game,
obtuse.
Right down to the card game. I hated everything about 8.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, the card game was fun.
No, I didn't like it.
You didn't like playing Blitzball either, though.
I actually got good at Blitzball to the point where I got Wakka's final or legendary weapon. So Blitzball is okay.
She only played it for the ultimate weapon.
Yeah, and that's how you get good at it.
I played it for fun. Rocket League didn't exist yet. That was a blast.
I didn't like 8. 9, I love 9. I think Alex would love 9 if he played it.
Yet.
It's so good. Back to that, steam kind of punk, medieval. I love 9.
So it was like steampunk in 6, dystopian sci-fi in 7, kind of a weird mix of sci-fi fantasy in 8, and then steampunk fantasy in 9 again, which is just like, they were all good.
9 was good. I really liked I can't remember now if you could do this in previous Final Fantasies. I don't think you could, but I really liked that you could combine attack depending on who's in your party. Like, I remember doing a magic blade attack with Steiner and Vivi for the first time in Final Fantasy 9. I just remember being like blown away. I was like, oh, this is amazing.
Well, she was playing 9, I was playing Legend of Dragoon.
There's a game I never played.
Timing my hits down.
My first RPG it's actually on this channel, was Rhapsody Musical Adventure, which was like tailor made for girls, and like playing it as a young girl, it's amazing. Playing it as an adult, you realize like how awful the game is and horrendously like
weird.
It's very bizarre. There's like themes of suicide, sexism, like. But what drew me to this game was the tile system again that you see in Final Fantasy Tactics and the battle system therein. It's pretty easy.
Tactics-based combat?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. You have that, and then when they ported it to the DS many years later, I was mad excited, and then I realized they actually erased the entire battle system and just turned it into turn-based. And you can mash the A button in every battle and you'll win. It's just absolute garbage. They took one of the best portions of that game and like erased it from it, and I was big mad. But
she's still mad about it.
I'm still salty about it. Like I'm still salty about that.
It's actually really cute.
I'm still mad.
You're allowed to be.
After 9, 10, another near flawless game. I love 10.
And then Squeenix came.
Squeenix acquired Square mid-10?
They co-merged mid-10, yeah. That's
10
why I'm saying and then Squeenix
I
came.
have tried to play 10-2 4 separate times, and the furthest I've gotten into it was 3 hours, and I can't play 10-2. I just can't do it. 11 was the MMO that I played very briefly.
I thought it was fun. I was a red mage.
12, again, one of my favorites. I loved 12. I thought 12 doesn't have the mistakes that 13 has as far as voice acting, and how just 12 has superior voice acting to 13, and I don't want to say 10. I'll say 10.
Yeah.
I'll say 10.
Yeah.
I'll say 10. 13. It was supposed to sound awkward. It just wasn't conveyed well. It wasn't executed well.
At all.
No. 13. Garbage.
You mean Final Hallway?
The game's
Hallway
playing
Fantasy.
itself, John. The goddamn game's been playing itself.
It hasn't been plugged in this whole time.
I've been using the wrong controller. Squeenix with its tell the story.
Rather than show it.
Yeah. That was really my big gripe with it was I told a friend of mine that I hated 13, and they're like, I was like, I'm confused by all of it. I don't understand what's going on. I'm not identifying with the characters. I think the scenes are bizarre. I'm not enjoying this. And they're like, what do you mean you don't understand? Just read. I'm like, what are you talking about? So you open up the menu and you view like the stories and the chapters and stuff, and you have to read like 90 pages of stuff, and I'm like,
if I wanted to read a novel, I would just open a book.
Part of the majesty of Final Fantasy X for me was like the questions you had about Spira and Titus, or Titus. I think it's
whichever.
Titus. The questions you had about Spira and Titus and Sin and everything therein was answered in due time through storytelling, not through
visual
chapter
storytelling.
Added. Yeah, cutscenes, and it was emotional. It was very good.
I think they over rely on cutscenes. That's the entirety of what happens in Kingdom Hearts. All 3 of them.
We'll talk about that.
Because I don't consider the other ones real Kingdom Hearts games.
They're missing a core component in 3.
Yeah, it's called writing.
I mean, it's...
I don't feel bad.
3 is like Kingdom Hearts beefed up. Like, the Unreal Engine, it's just unreal. Like, they really beefed it up, but
so
you're
from
missing
Jump
a bunch
Street,
of stuff.
From Jump Street, Sora opens the story, and he's lost his powers again, but inexplicably, he has a shitload of new powers. Like the ride combat thing that I guarantee you've seen it in the trailers, which I didn't like from Jump Street. I thought it was choppy, weird, and like Kratos action scene-y. What are the quick time event nonsense? Like, I don't need that in the middle of action combat. Thank you.
The world felt way more flowy. It was. I liked. There are some good things about 3.
I'm not saying it's valueless.
I really, what did it for me though that made me like come to a full stop in that game was going to Arendelle, and that was just, I didn't enjoy it, like not even a little bit. Like I couldn't even appreciate how well crafted the landscape was. I just couldn't. I didn't like the ice palace. That
10 out of 10 for Matt Pat's theory on that one.
What?
That Elsa was the intended boss.
I believe
that she
that.
succumbed to the darkness.
I believe that. I really do.
They were like,
Larxene
no, you gotta cut that.
felt weird.
Oh yeah, there was no reason for her to be there at all. We didn't toy with the idea of the darkness in her heart even a little bit. Like it was just copy paste from the film, and we didn't even explain who the hell Hans was.
Hey. Let it go. Let that go.
I did.
No.
I did. I let it go the first time I saw it.
Kingdom Hearts 3, reaching Arendelle was like a really serious point for me where I was just like, I'm done here.
Brave
done
would
here.
have been good.
I'm done. I was really done with that, but
Brave would have been good. But
I just gotta say I didn't like Final Fantasy 15.
I don't have an opinion on 15 yet. I didn't see enough of it played or played enough myself to have an opinion.
I didn't like it.
It seems abundantly grindy in a really unhealthy way.
I don't know. I just didn't like your first pit stop there with Sid's daughter.
You immediately got angry about Sid's granddaughter. Niece? Is it niece?
I don't know, but
whatever.
I was pissed.
Hot
I was
chick
like,
Cindy.
This is just like, I already didn't like. Each one of the main characters that you have control of are just like your standard.
The least flavored, most bland possible.
Yeah, they're your standard anime guy. You know, like.
I'm brooding.
Each one
I'm
of
the
them.
protagonist. Nobody gets me. My name is Sasuke or Vegeta. Fucking.
Let's talk about Squall and Cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's always the
This
game.
was worse. This was worse. This was to the point of parody.
That's why I actually do appreciate Tidus, because, like,
He
really.
wasn't the cookie cutter mouth breather.
He was just.
He was dumb, but
He
that was
was-
part of his character.
He was unlikable. He was so unlikable when you started the game. Like, his voice was just mad irritating. You hate him, and then you really.
Well, he was also a bad person.
I think. Yeah.
He was begot of sin.
Well, he had a lot of issues, and Jet became Sin. He wasn't Sin from Jump Street, you know, like Sin didn't birth him. Like, he wasn't Sin spawn. But Tidus,
Otherwise,
like,
he would have been sin spawn.
yeah, Tidus was one of my favorite protagonists because you actually see him change and grow and develop, and by the end of the game, like, you see him come to terms with like his father and abandonment
And sin.
he let go of his entire life, and you know it was really a really great storytelling for that character, because you start the game hating him and then you end it thinking
I only made it to
a lot of
Mount
people still hate
Xanarkand.
him. It's whatever. a lot of people hate Tidus. It's cool.
It's valid.
Yeah, I just really liked the growth that they showed with Tidus. It was well told rather than, you know, like, I don't know,
Boy, I wish I knew what Squall was up to these days. Be a shame if Kingdom Hearts totally forgot that character existed.
Kingdom Hearts took all of the Final Fantasy characters out of 3, and I didn't notice that. Like, the whole time I was playing Kingdom Hearts 3, I was like, something's missing, dude. Like, there's
A core mechanic, like one of
Yeah.
the 3 pillars.
and it
Original
hit me.
characters,
It hit
Final
me.
Fantasy characters, Disney.
There are no Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts, and I realized that, like, oh my god.
I'm still disappointed that you can't pick up some of them as party members and
And-
go play.
And I
That,
think
like, that's disappointing.
the Kingdom Hearts characters are lackluster and leave a lot to be desired.
You want to talk about archetypal fucking dweebs.
Riku,
Oh my god.
Sora.
Same thing as Noctis.
They all look alike. They all look alike.
Nobody gets me.
They all act like each other. Like I felt like the only
Sora's only character trait in 3 is I'm dumb and forgetful.
Everybody makes fun of Sora. I feel so bad for him.
He gets fucking bullied.
Like straight up by Donald and Goofy.
Mickey bullies Sora.
And then they all laugh about it.
That's
even,
our king.
What's his name? The wizard?
Yeah, Yen Sid.
Yen Sid. He's like, yeah, that kid's whack.
You're a fucking idiot, Sora.
It's so funny. Like, I was mad excited for 3 too, but
she was so hype.
I was, and that's really probably how 7's gonna go. I'm just a fan.
You said it.
Yeah, I'm just a fan though. Like, I spoke about this briefly with a friend of mine on Facebook that like there's the Zelda cycle. Nintendo teases the next game. Everyone gets hype about it. We're super excited. The game gets released. 10 out of 10, best game ever. Then everyone bashes the game. We're pissed off about the game, and it's just this vicious cycle that continues on.
Between fans and devs in this weird love-hate symbiosis.
I love every Zelda game. I've never played Spirit Tracks, so let's be fair.
Yeah, I haven't played
I
some of the more knockoffy titles. I saw Spirit Tracks once and was like, oh, that's super derivative. They were going for the magic
Minish
they
Cap.
had, and
Minish Cap was
didn't play that one.
Oh, so good. I just really like the Zelda games. The main ones that came on the consoles with the release. My least favorite is Twilight Princess, and I'm not trying to say that's a bad game or anything. It's a good game, but it's my least favorite. Skyward Sword is one of my favorites for sure. It just brought a lot to the lore. It brought a lot to the table.
I'm excited she gets to actually experience Link's Awakening now.
Yeah.
Because that's coming out.
Yeah.
Is that this year or is that next?
It's this year.
Is it?
I think so. Yeah.
It's gonna be a holiday release.
I've never played Link's Awakening, so there's a big one.
So good.
Link to the Past I've played. There's just like Breath of the Wild for me was like I was really hyped for that, and I knew they had changed a lot about the formula for Zelda, and I don't know, I'm just a fan.
That was a breath of fresh air into a series that needed it.
I'm just gonna like say there are things that I could pick apart on Breath of the Wild, but I love it.
Game of the year 2019, Breath of the Wild.
Still get
3 years running.
Yeah. Did it come out 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was a launch title, and the Switch is only 2 years old.
Yeah, I love Breath of the Wild. I think it's phenomenal. But for me, I kind of look at the Final Fantasy VII remake with more of a critical eye, because I don't know, Nintendo does things right, and Squeenix hasn't been doing things right for a long time.
Or EA, or I mean, shit, Ubisoft is flirting with the line. Bethesda said, "We'll just go full EA. Fuck you guys."
I don't want to talk about Bethesda. I'm not very happy.
Everybody's excited for the new Star, whatever the fuck, and Elder Scrolls 6, and I'm like, maybe don't be. Maybe not. I don't think now's the time to be excited for those. I would just dampen those expectations right now. I can't, outside of Nintendo, I can't think of a big AAA level developer that has released anything that is good in like the past 5 years.
Spider-Man.
Who developed that?
I don't know.
I didn't say that there weren't any good AAA titles in the past 5 years. I think that's a bit extreme, but I can't think of like the developers releasing.
Oh, we've kind of been in our own world too, as far as like exclusively.
We went indie.
Yeah. Stardew Valley.
Yeah, really good job.
Stardew Valley.
Ape and Chucklefish. Well
done.
done.
Oh, love it. That's a. I think I spent 6 months living in Stardew Valley. Yeah.
She no-life the shit out of that.
I did. I would come home and be like, okay, guys, well, I'm not available. for the next 6 hours.
I needed so much help with this shit.
No, he got
And she
none.
was like,
He got none.
go fuck yourself. I'm doing my own chores.
I'm taking care of my virtual family.
She was.
Elliot left me, dude.
You divorced him.
I did. I turned him
That's
into
why he left.
I turned the kids into doves. Oh my god. We didn't have kids. I didn't get that far with him.
Didn't like Elliot anyway.
No, he was like, oh my god, if you don't like being with a guy that's like up your butt all the time, that's like super hey honey, hey honey, hey honey, hey honey, I love you honey, I love you honey, I love you honey, don't date Alex.
I'm pushing my skull into her face as we speak.
I love him so
For those
much.
playing the audio game. Yeah. So I started playing Stardew again. In fact, I think we're gonna play some Stardew here after this stream.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna water my crops. See,
I can make that money.
I'm at that point where I want to replay 7, but I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. But let's talk about
Let's
8.
talk 8?
Let's talk about 8 or 9.
How bad the draw system and junction systems
no,
were?
let's talk about 8 or 9 as far as like 7 had a lot. They milked that cash cow with Advent Children. We had Dirge of Cerberus. We had the
I still
mobile
don't know what
game,
happened in Advent Children.
the mobile Japanese game release of before Crisis, and then Crisis Core was the Zack game on the PSP. There was just so many spin-offs, so many things going on. It was a huge cash cow that they kept milking. Like, I really do. We didn't want these things. By the way, I secretly love Dirge of Cerberus. Super fun.
I don't know anything about it.
We didn't ask for those things. We were just looking for a 7 remake or HD remaster, honestly. And we just got all that in a bag of chips. But I really feel like they should redo 8 or 9 or
All the expansion of the
just
7 universe,
yeah.
I feel like they could have done that with 8, 9. They tried it with 10 and it was spectacularly bad. But even more games in Ivalice would have been cool.
No, we have plenty of games in Ivalice, but I am waiting for like the next
It's got 4. There's OG
that's
Tactics.
plenty. But I am waiting for the next Tactics.
I'd like a spin-off at 12, I think.
There was one, Revenant Wings or something.
There was.
It was on the DS.
Oh.
I believe so.
They need to quit doing that. Then that's a pattern of behavior that's unnecessary and gross.
It's the same pattern of behavior with Kingdom Hearts, actually.
It's explicitly the problem with Kingdom Hearts because nobody has any idea what's happening. The story doesn't make any sense. They
I'm so
retcon
confused.
everything.
I'm so confused. The things that they explain in Kingdom Hearts 3 just leave more questions that need answered.
And I'm like,
And
who the
granted-
fuck is that? I thought he was reconstituted. What are they both doing there in the same place?
What did they say? Jesus anime Christ. How many Xehanorts are there? Xehanort.
They counted, what,
Xehanorton
7?
antivirus.
Not including Xehanorton antivirus. There was 7.
Xehanorton antivirus. That's another
It's
one.
ridiculous. Like, you can't justify having 7 of the same character with time travel. I'm sorry.
We can't call him Ansem anymore when he's speaking to the real Ansem. Jesus anime Christ.
And they're still doing it anyway.
I'm so confused because they all look alike, and I'm really bad as far as like when I'm reading a book, as far as remembering character names and stuff. So Kingdom Hearts 3 really throws me for a loop because I'm like Xemnas, Xehanort, Zelda.
I can't do it.
I can't either.
I can't do it.
I can't even like look for visual clues because every one of the characters look alike.
Exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can go, oh, that's the guy with the bass. If he's not carrying anything, though, I can't identify him from his fucking idiot friends. I'm amazed
Yeah,
by I'm gonna be honest here. I'm amazed by how bad it is.
It's not.
It's not good.
Bad. It's not bad. It's fun.
It's not good.
It's very fun to play. If you actually pick it up and play it, it's very fun to play.
I'm gonna pass.
My problem with Kingdom Hearts 3 is it got to the point where when I was starting a new world or ending a world, I was already like, I have to go through another 30-minute cutscene that's not going to answer any questions, that's going to be super vague and like confusing. And all I want to do is just go back and fly my gummy ship around for a while, which was the best part to me, was gummy ship driving. Like, and I never liked the gummy ships, and 3 really, like, it was so much fun. It was way better. I flew around my gummy ship for like 2 hours at one point.
She did.
I really did.
She's done that multiple times.
Yeah.
Don't let her fucking downplay that.
I booted up Kingdom Hearts 3 and just played the gummy ship.
And then saved and quit.
And Alex was like, shouldn't you be landing in Arendelle? And I'm like,
no.
Yeah,
I don't wanna.
I guess I should progress in the story, but have you seen this boss that you can fight with a gummy ship?
And then she went and killed 3 fortresses.
Yeah, it's tight. Give me a gummy ship game, like
give me a not shitty Star Fox instead.
I don't know. I used to rely heavily on like story-rich games, but it feels like these stories are just becoming tedious. They're really tedious.
It's not that the stories are tedious. It's people don't know how to write.
Well, I just kind of enjoy the more simple parts of the game, like running around with Sora and fighting Heartless and actually doing the boss battles. The boss battles were fun. Going through hordes of Heartless was really cool. There were a lot of interesting, like, I feel like that should have been in Zelda. Like, I would appreciate more dynamic foes that you can fight instead of like 8 Lionels, you know?
Yeah.
Like, or 10 Bokoblins.
Yeah, like 12 variations of the same basic enemy.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
You have that with Kingdom Hearts too. You have like 10 different kinds of Heartless, but you
then you get world specific Heartless.
Yeah, but you get like one thing I'll say about Arendelle was like, you know, like there are, I don't know, they're just it's kind of like open world versus linear game though, so I get it. But you had like different obstacles with certain enemies, and I would have appreciated some of that. Again, Zelda has a. I love Breath of the Wild. I'm sorry. I feel bad. I should apologize.
Give me the year 2019, Breath of the Wild. Seriously, it's like Minecraft, Breath of the Wild, and Rocket League are my top 3.
They're Rocket League and Minecraft are simple, you know. Like, I like games that you don't have to, like, I don't have to set aside an afternoon to play it. It's been a long time since
You've never played Minecraft.
It's been a long time since I've picked up a game that made me want to play it for 9 hours straight. It's been a really long time. It hasn't ever been a story-driven game, you know.
Yeah,
and
I get
that's where
really, really bored.
I'm afraid that's my problem. Is like maybe my attention span is too far gone. I'm too old for that now. But like, yeah. I don't know. Story-driven games just aren't my cup anymore.
Oops.
I hope 7 will change that. I know the story already, but I love going through it over and over again.
I do like beating my head against the same button 1,000 times and seeing if something different will happen.
It's the definition of insanity.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yep, and you're paying for it.
7's gonna be a new experience. You're not doing turn-based battles anymore.
I like playing the same game over and over and over. It just came out of your mouth. It did. It did. I'm sorry, I'll stop.
I hate Squall.
That's fair. Hit me back.
Hit you back? What?
Hit me back.
Hit you back with what?
Why you hate Squall? Fair.
Oh. I love you with all my heart.
I love you too.
I don't know. I love being with you. Like,
yeah.
Talking to you about games and
goofing off.
I just get like really emotional about certain video games, and Alex is like, I'll just light up.
I do try to burst that bubble because I've been shit on a lot by AAA titles and getting my hopes up, and I'm like, I'm just not doing it anymore, and I don't want her to have to go through the pain.
Well, my man's there to console me.
I don't want to have to console if I could just prevent the problem.
You gotta learn to make these mistakes yourself, and I'm ready to be hurt again.
I don't know why.
I'm ready. Hurt me.
That's off camera.
Dear Squeenix, hurt me again. I'm ready.
Dear M, you never wrote me back.
Heard about your uncle too, I'm sorry.
Oof. So I think that'll be our wrap point, gang. Happy episode 1 of Pillow Talk. We'll catch you guys soon.
We love you.
Love you. Bye-bye.